Well, Ron, it's a very nice scene once again here at Carnival City on a Wednesday evening.
Well, it's most unusual, Nick. You know, normally traditional boxing night is a Saturday night. This is a test, as you heard Rod Walker say.
Now, our first fight that we go to this evening, Roberto Duran Jr., no amateur career. He steps into the ring to make his pro debut tonight against Banda Mathebula. I wonder how it's going to go. Our ring announcer this evening, giving us all the stats and figures, Duncan Pollock.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Carnival City. This is Triple Thunder. 3 world title fights brought to you compliments of Rainbow Cash and Carry, Carnival City, and of course the promoters Golden Gloves. Tonight's boxing live and exclusive to Super Sport, your channel of champions from Sun International's Carnival City. On the card this evening, 3 WBU titles up for grabs, and we kick it off with the son of a true boxing legend. The first bout on the card this evening is scheduled for 4 rounds, and it's in the junior middleweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the ring from Gauteng in Gauteng, South Africa, Banda Mathebula.
So here we go. Banda Mathebula is going to make the entrance first of all. It's a junior middleweight contest. Roberto Duran Jr. making his pro debut. A little bit like the son of Jack Nicklaus, Gary Nicklaus, just stepping onto a golf course without an amateur career, but be that as it may.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who'll be standing opposite him, fighting out of the blue corner on my right. Please welcome into the ring, Roberto Duran Jr.
So the son of Hands of Stone about to make his entrance here at the Big Top Arena, which is filling up all the time. A lot of the high rollers outside in the casino, perhaps waiting for the world title fights. But there he is. He's certainly worked up a good sweat, Ron.
Well, you know, coming in to make a debut at 26 years old, most unusual. Very few fighters make it in the pro ring starting so late.
And I think the interest really is to see if any of the magic of the old man has rubbed off on the son.
Oh, they're going to trade on the old man's name. This will happen.
Facially, there's a resemblance, that is for sure.
That's about all, possibly. Let's see tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first bout on this Triple Thunder card, brought to you compliments of Golden Gloves from Carnival City, and exclusive to Super Sport, your channel of champions. It's scheduled for 4 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Our judges, Tabo Spampool, Gordon Gorba, and Joe Horn, and our referee, Mr. Elf Bakwana. The man who'll be fighting out of the red corner on my left, he's in the green trunks with yellow trim. He weighed in at 68.2 kilograms. Making his professional debut from Gauteng in Gauteng, South Africa, ladies and gentlemen, Banda Mathebula. Out of the blue corner on my right, he weighed in at 68.55 kilograms. He's fighting in the blue trunks with white trim. He hails from Panama City, fighting out of Sydney, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, the son of a living legend, introducing Roberto Duran Jr.
Right, for that one. Limited, yeah, okay. Right, shake hands. Obey my commands all the time. Okay? Right.
Referee Alf Bakwana, the third man in the ring. This is very intriguing because, as you say, Ron, very unusual to just step into the ring and make your pro career debut.
26 years old, and he's got such a weight on his shoulders, Nick. You know, coming from a legendary Roberto Duran to carry it in. You'd hear the ring announcer mentioning his father. You know, I feel sorry for the young man, you know. So let's wait and see. Let's see if he's got any potential whatsoever.
Well, Dad made his debut as a lightweight, did he?
That's right.
Did
he worked his way right through to super middleweight.
The son is making his debut as a junior middle.
That's Roberto Duran Jr. in the navy blue trunks, and Banda Mathebula in the green and gold. Both fighters making their pro debut. Mathebula is only 22 years old, so the younger man of the two.
With Duran fighting out of a very orthodox stance, a little bit more movement, head and shoulders from Mathebula.
And they fight in the junior middleweight division. It's scheduled for 4 rounds. That's a limit of 69.85. Mathebula came in at 68.20 and Roberto Duran at 68.55.
Well, obviously, I would imagine Duran Jr. has had plenty of experience in gyms, watching his father fight, so one would feel, even though he hasn't been in the ring at this sort of level, a lot will have rubbed off, I'm sure.
Well, I sincerely hope so, Nick, because you don't learn standing outside the ring. You've got to get in there and fight. So you can stand in the gyms. I've been in the gyms all my life. It doesn't mean to say I can fight.
I've seen you fight, Ron. It was a very low-key start to this fight.
Well, I think both very nervous as you realise that pro debuts, it's quite a big thing for youngsters coming to the ring. I say youngsters, Duran at 26 and Mathebula at 22. So a lot on their shoulder, a lot of pressure on these young fighters.
They better get going. It's only a 4-rounder.
Well, as I've always said, you've got to get that first round in the bag because it means a lot. 25% of the fight, you won the first round. You can't afford to give a 1 round away in a 4-rounder. The last minute here of round 1, and very little action. You can't divide the two fighters. No decent punches coming from either fighter. Real pity-pat sparring stuff here in round 1.
Well, both fighters really out of range at the moment. As I say that, Duran closes down the range with the right hand. Another right hand lands, and Mathebula may be hurt. He's covering up, and he almost went down. He has gone down.
Well, that's a good right hand. That is a very, very good right hand coming there from Duran.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, not much enough time. Is there enough time left in the round for Duran to finish him off? And Mathebula just got inexperience. He should hold and clinch and just dance away if he can.
Well, Duran Jr. making just the right sort of start to his pro career.
20 seconds to go, so I can still put him down for the count, but really not going well. He's just holding down. That was a lunging right hand, a very amateurish right hand there from Duran.
Mathebula now sensibly just trying to hold on, I think, to that bell, just clear the head.
Well, that's what he's got to do, you know. It was a good shot to put him down there, Nick. Possibly we'll see that in the slow motion in between rounds. And the first round, it must go to Roberto Duran. There's only a good shot in it, but he must be a 10-8 for Duran.
Well, you've just seen how one punch can win a round for you.
Suck it in, Chip. Suck it in. Suck it in. Blow your nose, right? Water, Bobby. Blow your nose. Blow, blow, blow. Water. Bucket, step bucket. Spit to your side, huh? Spit it out, Channel. Okay, Channel. Double up the jab now. Double it up, right? And straight right. Double up, straight right, then the body. If he's ducking down, try and set him up with an uppercut. His head's down, bring him up.
Let's have a look at that knockdown in the opening round. Really nothing was happening, and then out of the blue, bang, right hand.
But you could see Mathebula was wide open, Nick. He just stuck his jaw out and he got tagged.
Round 2.
That happened pretty late in the round too. Mathebula was able to see it through until the bell. And let's see if the head is cleared now. Scheduled for 4 junior middleweights. Roberto Duran Jr. against Mathebula, who must feel, I suppose, a little bit like a sacrificial lamb here, fighting against the great man's son. But I suppose in the back of his mind too, he knows that this is Duran Jr.'s debut.
Well, Duran is in the navy blue trunks, and Banda Mathebula, or Mathebula, I see it. It's B-U-L-O, Mathebula. He's in the green and yellow trunks. It was a good right hand to the jaw that he threw there in that first round, Nick. But if you look at it, Mathebula was inviting a shot to the jaw. He left himself wide open. And they're fighting here in the junior middleweight division. This is scheduled for 4 rounds. We're in the second round here. The first round, the knockdown, the round must go to Duran.
Roberto Duran scoring with a light right hand. And And a good shot to the body from Mathebula. That's his best punch of the fight. Takes a right hand, though. And once again, he's forced to cover up. Didn't like that, Ron.
No, not at all, no. Well, Duran showing little signs here of for making his pro debut, not fighting too badly. He's fighting out of a tight defense, trying a few good right hands.
And looks pretty composed, too. Didn't get too excited after scoring that knockdown. Wonder if he's got his dad's killer instinct.
Well,
that was something else.
So different, you know. Whatever he does, I'll always compare him with his dad. He had Marcel Sedan Jr. He had about 30 or 40 fights, and he could never get away from the great Marcel Sedan, one of the great fighters ever, French Algerian.
Well, we're seeing a bit of fireworks now from Mathebula.
That was a good right hand. It came in there. Well, you see, there's the amateurishness from Duran, that lunging right hand. He leaves himself wide open there. Against a better class fighter, he'd be in real trouble. 45 seconds, we are in round 2. A replica of the first round, except for the knockdown. A little bit of a better round for Mathebula. Scored a few shots here, good right hands and lefts coming in.
Just lands a light left hook too. So much better round for Mathebula. Starting to see just a little more head movement now from Duran Jr., and that's because Mathebula has caught him once or twice in this round.
Well, Mathebula a bit more relaxed in this round, not as tight as he was in that first round. And as I say, they caught a good right hand there from Duran.
Winding down the second round, scheduled for 4. Mathebula back in the fight after going down towards the bell in that first round.
Well, I always give that round to Mathebula.
Just caught a brief glimpse of sister Rochelle Duran there.
Well, there's an action here from that second round, and better round there for Mathebula, scoring with the left hand and a couple of right hands. Duran has a long way to go to equal his great father, not showing the natural moves that Roberto Duran showed.
In fact, if you are going to make that comparison, I mean, Duran Sr. was such a good mover around the ring and was very good defensively, so difficult to hit. Duran Jr. looks pretty upright and easy to tag at this stage of his career.
Well, Nick, the things that Duran Sr. did, you couldn't teach a boxer, you're born with that. And to ever reach that, there's very few in the history of boxing.
As you say, it's an unfair comparison, and
very
perhaps
much so.
It shouldn't actually be made.
He's got a load on his shoulders, you know, he must feel for the chap.
Perhaps Mathebula doing enough in that last round to share the round.
But remember, he's at that 2-point deficit in the first round. He's got to catch up. So he's got to win the rounds now, the next round. To go. Oh, as I said, a big right hand comes in from Duran.
And immediately Mathebula is forced to hold on. Duran definitely with the reach advantage.
And that's Roberto Duran Jr. in the navy blue trunks against Banda Mathebula in the green and gold. Not throwing combinations, Duran. He doesn't push out the left, push out the jab. He's got to throw more combinations. He's trying to throw one shot at a time.
Well, smothering most of those punches from Mathebula was Duran. He's still trying to load up on that right hand.
Well, he knows he can hurt him with that right hand, but he's got to work to get the right hand in. Got to work out with a jab, get the left down, pump it out, and he's not doing that.
Well, his corner between rounds, certainly between rounds 1 and 2, were very keen to urge him to throw that jab. Just set it up behind that jab. Not happening at the moment for him.
It's not doing that. It's a very slow motion fight, really, same as we saw in round 1, round 2. And they're fighting here in the junior middleweight division in round 3 of a scheduled 4-rounder. both fighters inside the limit. Duran came in at 68.55 and Mathebula in 68.20.
Mathebula landing with a little uppercut inside there, and Duran just blinking.
Well, a little bit of blood there, the first blood
there
to
is blood.
Mathebula. And he must have picked up that shot on the nose.
Well, welcome to the program, Roberto Duran Jr.
Well, he knows it was like to take a shot.
Good counter right hand, because Mathebula was coming forward. He was having his best moments in the fight. He walked straight into a counter right hand, and I think Irishal is very happy.
Well, that's going to cost him the fight, Nick. He was doing so well up until that knockdown. A real flash knockdown. Carelessness from Mathebula.
Roberto Duran bleeding from, what is it, the nose? It's difficult to see from here. Yeah.
I think a little short right hand that came in there, sort of half uppercut. And that drew blood from the nose of Duran. But I don't think that shot hurt Mathebula. He went down, and it was really a flash knockdown. And Duran must get that round.
Well, they all count. It was a good counter right hand from Roberto Duran Jr.
Last round coming. Last round.
Have a look if we can pick up that counter right hand. Look, Mathebula coming forward, misses with the left and takes a right hand for his troubles. Down he goes.
Well, it was well thrown, Nick. It was a good right hand. You know, that's one thing about Duran. He throws a good right hand.
I think his dad would have been proud of that.
Very much so.
Well, if Mathebula doesn't come out and take his chances here in this final round, his corner have given him the wrong message. He's way behind on points and needs a knockout to win this.
Well, he can't, Nick. Even a knockdown wouldn't help him. He's got to win knockdown. A knockout, as you say, quite correct. And this is the final round, the fourth and final round, this junior middleweight contest between Roberto Duran Jr., he's the man in the navy trunks, and Banda Mathebula in the green and gold trunks. So Banda, that's Banda Mathebula. Both fighters making their pro debut.
Yeah, we've ignored that, haven't we? Mathebula making his pro debut as well.
He was boxing better off that first round knockdown, a slow start. He seemed to loosen up, but he got caught with a sucker punch here in round 3. Showing a lot of confidence is Mathebula.
Well, takes a counter right hand.
Well, he's a sucker for that right hand, is Mathebula. He's just not picking it up. He's keeping that glove too low, the left glove, he's dropping it, and Duran's just throwing over the right hand. A little bit disappointing, Duran not pushing out the left, not throwing combinations.
I think he knows he's ahead on points. He can coast this round, really. Triple Thunder has been billed as tonight. 3 world title fights to come. The first of which will be Cassius Beloy defending that WBU featherweight title against Hector Lizarraga.
It's here at the Carnival City. Really a nice venue. No problems with rain, indoor venue, a good venue for boxing.
Again, he doesn't pick up the right hand as Mathebula.
Well, look, you can see that. He drops that left hand all the time. Look at how low that is. He's got to keep it up. And you think he got the message by now here in round 4. We're going to the last minute of the fourth and final round of this junior middleweight contest. Roberto Duran Jr. against Banda Mathebula. Well, I suppose it's understandable. You know, Duran having his first fight of any kind. He's never had an amateur fight. 26 years old. So not to go too wild. Knows he can win this fight.
I actually think, as he scores another right hand, I actually think he's done remarkably well when you consider he hasn't had an amateur career.
Very much so, Nick. You know, with the pressure on him, I think he's done exceptionally well.
What I like about him is he looks a pretty composed fighter. He doesn't go to pieces when he gets hit. He doesn't get overexcited when he lands. He looks like a thinking fighter.
Well, you know, a lot of fighters start off badly in their first fight and they grow from there, so possibly he can do that.
Well, Mathebula looking for a big punch to try and even this fight up.
Well, he can't do it now. There's less than 10 seconds to go, so it must go the way of Roberto Duran making his pro debut.
Roberto Duran Jr. wins this one in a canter. Applause from his sister too, who will be very relieved that it's over, I'm sure. As will, I think, probably Roberto Duran Jr. He must have had some doubts in the back of his mind just stepping into the ring. I think he coped extremely well. This man making his professional debut too was in the fight, certainly trying to make a fight out of it. Not the end of the world if you pick up a loss first time out.
Well, a good round of applause here from the fans, Nick. The arena's filling up. I would say it's about 60% full now.
And with the world title fights to come now, you can see the Big Top Arena will fill up very, very quickly. Lovely venue right here in Brakpan for boxing at Carnival City. Junior middleweight action you've just witnessed then, 4 rounds, and Roberto Duran Jr. a wide winner, scoring 2 knockdowns in the first and the third it was.
Referee Alfred Duquana there, a very experienced referee, collecting the cards, handing it to Dr. Peter Ngatani, chairman of the Transvaal Boxing Commission.
Well, there wasn't too much action in the final round. I think Roberto Duran felt he could just stay out of trouble and win this one handily, which he did. And Mathebula was cautious, I think. He was aware of this right hand, this counter right hand, which was being thrown by Duran.
Well, I would say Duran, Nick, he fought well within himself. You know, no fireworks. I think we expected too much of him. But he fought well with it. He had control. He was in control. He was never really in trouble. And possibly a fair performance in his first professional fight.
Yeah, something to build on.
But I must be honest, I don't see signs of the great Roberto Duran in what he's done here tonight.
I did not say that. Yeah, as you say, Ron, huge shoes to fill. Almost impossible, isn't it?
Well, it's very seldom been done in the history of boxing, Nick. You know, you can go through the records and father and son, and really the sons are always up against. They never really do. Very few have ever done as well as their fathers.
Right, the decision has found its way to Duncan Pollock, but it's a formality.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the bout was scheduled for 4 rounds. It went the distance, and we go to the scorecards. Judge Tabu Spampool scores the fight 37-38. Judge Gordon Gorba scores the fight 34 points to 40. And Judge Joe Horn scores the fight 37 points to 39. All in favor of our unanimous winner on a points decision, Roberto Duran Jr.
Well, some of the scoring there staggers me. How you get 37-38 out of that fight, down twice in the fight.
4 points given away. Really, I can't work that one out. I'm not a mathematician, but it's a bit surprising.
Very surprising. Anyway, Roberto Duran Jr. has come to South Africa. He's achieved what he set out to do, which is start his pro career with a win. The news will be going back to his father, who fights another world title, can you believe it, at the age of almost 49.
On his birthday, Nick. It'll be the 16th of June.
In Panama.
On his birthday, 49, in Panama for a world title.
So there you go, Roberto Duran Jr. leaving the ring. Stay where you are. We've got world title